Hello, Wastelanders. Welcome to the game plan and part 2 of my very first survival mode playthrough. That's right, my very first. And we start vanilla, and every time I die, we add a mod, and they are starting to add up. Now our character is about to head into Concord for the first time and take on some of those baddies. It's decision time as I approach the blood bugs that are just past the Red Rocket gas station, and for some reason I decide maybe it's time to try a sawed-off shotgun. I haven't played with one of those 2 shots in a little while, and the range is abysmal. I mean, I get one good hit, sure, but the reload is painful as I keep getting interrupted by this blood bug attack, and yeah, you might have guessed it, 1 minute in, we're gonna see our first death. Ouch, that was a mistake. The consolation? It's revenge mod time. The mod we're going with is the NPC accuracy adjuster that lowers the accuracy of low-level enemies like raiders and stupid enemies like blood bugs. Petty, you say? Well, I'm willing to go there. In part 1, I confided in you that I'd never really gotten good at VATS. Not really, so it's time. It's time to try it again and see what this miraculous targeting system does. What's all the hype about? So, yeah, I'm still feeling a little underwhelmed. I'm not sure my opinion has changed. But it helped a bit, and now that the blood bug's coming after us, I'm feeling good. You stepping to me? That's what I thought. His friend bugs off. He knows what's good for him. We go raid this house and give him a minute to get greedy and come back to that Brahmin so that we can finish him off. Because revenge really is sweet. In front of the museum, we pick off the last of the raiders and find Princess Peach up on the balcony, earnestly yelling for help, as per the usual.
We're almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please.
Yeah, Preston, don't get your knickers in a twist. We're coming. The experience points do level us up. Can't wait to pick that next perk. But first, we got a little bit of looting to do. And we have to grab that laser musket and help him, please. So we do. And of course, we are immediately reminded that survival mode is the diet of game modes. It's all about weight management and progress is slow. Inside the museum, distracted raiders line up like target practice and we knock them down pretty easily even with our crummy pipe weapons. While Dogmeat barks his encouragement so excitedly you'd think we were shooting mailmen. As we swing by to pick up the fusion core, I'm reminded how frustrating terminal hacking is, and it's going to take me a few tries, so I just want to say that if any of my viewers are experiencing frustrating times in life right now, or something's got you down, I feel you, I love you, and you are going to get through this, I promise, okay? Just like we're going to get through this terminal.
That's it.
Terminal hacking's no fun, but grabbing fusion cores and taking out the rest of these raiders in the museum, well, that's pretty fun. And we get to take pride knowing that we did it like hard-working, good old-fashioned Americans. In survival mode. The mode so hard and old-fashioned it's mostly chores. And now Preston doesn't know who we are, but our timing's impeccable.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Tell you what, Preston. Why don't you let me take over introductions? First we have Sturgis, the Apocalypse Fawns.
Old school, pre-war.
And put your hands together for the creepiest woman in the retirement home, Mama Murphy. And lastly we have 2 of the 5 stages of grief, Marcy and June Long. I'll let you figure out which is which.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now that we've met the whole gang, it's time to put our hard-earned fusion core in the suit, and now in a stunning feat of prestidigitation, I make this backpack disappear. Between you and me, I think Sturgis may have overstated the cherryness of this power armor, as the raiders are so unintimidated that they blow one of our arms off and climb up the church just to get another shot at us. And as the Deathclaw arrives, it's our turn to be intimidated. I've never had to fight one of these things in survival mode. Fortunately, Preston has some advice for us.
Deathclaw, unload with everything you got.
Sounds like a plan.
Now we're talking.
I'll be honest, this fight hasn't made me this nervous in a long time. Let's just hope 500 rounds is enough to wear him down with. So, I get his attention, and I just start spinning those barrels. Let's see, countdown, 400 rounds, 350, 300 rounds, 250, 200 rounds. Uh-oh, 150. 100 rounds. Is it gonna be enough? 50 rounds, and woo, with 18 rounds to spare. He's down. Nicely done. You know, I almost feel bad for this last raider. I already got credit for clearing Concord of hostiles before I even take him out. Being a Fallout raider is a thankless job.
Yes.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you were on our side.
That was pretty awesome, but just when we're feeling like badasses, we're reminded that we're in survival mode, which is a lot like playing the Oregon Trail. For every minute of nail-biting action, there's at least an hour of chores. You know, drinking water, filling water bottles, planting crops, moving our stuff around. Ugh, enough of that.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. And I hope you don't mind,
Get on with it.
but I've got another favor to ask.
I'd be glad to help.
That's fantastic. The Minutemen can
And
use
we
your
level
help.
up, which means we've got a couple of perks coming. At least that's fun.
Talk to Sturgis. I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help he can get.
Oh boy.
Well, for starters, we could use some real beds. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water. Food supplies are running low.
What did I tell you? More chores. But on the upside, I did learn that you can fix these picket fences out here. I didn't actually know that before. I suppose learning new homesteading skills is character building or something, as Blake Abernathy would say. Farming's hard work. But it's also getting pretty old, so I vote we get back out into the Commonwealth and see what we can find. First up in this beautiful, foggy morning in the apocalypse is watching a vicious mongrel dog maul a scavenger in an abandoned parking lot, and then watching that same vicious dog decide to come for us. That's more like it. And that just wets my whistle for more wonderful wasteland moments, like finding a woman whose first name is literally trash can and flirting with her shamelessly.
Have you come to the wrong place?
Or thrown in my lot with surly, squatting hobos who task me with swimming through radioactive water for a few bottle caps.
Looking to earn some caps? I could use a hand here if you're all done gawking, you know.
He's all charm, isn't he? But just when we thought that maybe survival was letting us off easy, we learned that getting rid of rad poisoning is pretty painful stuff in this mode. If you're new to survival like I am, then maybe you didn't know that taking rad away means that your immune system gets dropped, you're more prone to getting sick, your fatigue level goes up, and so does your hunger, making it pretty clear that the cure is almost as painful as the disease. And just as we have something to celebrate for all our sacrifice, we realize that leaving boring old sanctuary for the charms of the wasteland might have been a terrible, terrible mistake. I know that I'm wasting shots on these Mirelurk shells, but by the time they're facing me, it will be too late, so I'm just trying to whittle them down if I can. Time to run. We probably have time for a stim pack, right? I mean, since when were Mirelurks known for their speed? We will never speak of this. You know, I'm having a thought. I don't want to download some cheap God mode mod just because I'm tired of feeling underpowered, so Liberty Reborn. We're gonna buff our allies, the Minutemen. That should help make us stronger too, right? Now we should be able to recruit these settlements with conviction.
We're rebuilding the Minutemen from the ground up. We're the good guys again.
Glad to hear it.
We've got these settlers eating out of our hands.
Will you be willing to join the Minutemen once I've dealt with those raiders?
People have gotten used to not being able to count on you folks. That's not going to change overnight.
Jeez, I didn't think the Minutemen were such a hard sell. What do we have to do to get people on board? This vendor has a good sales pitch.
Don't cheap out on armor. That's a good way to get yourself killed.
But oh my god, I see why he needs it. 17,000 caps for a couple of leather pieces of armor that don't even have great legendary attributes? Blah. We absolutely will cheap out on armor. This Wastelander right leg looks okay for the money. Now I just want to sleep off this buyer's remorse on a dirty mattress. Is that so much to ask without rad roaches coming out of the woodworks, making me kill them just so I can even take a nap? Insert long suffering sigh here. And now that we're up from our 5-hour maximum sleep, we're going to cheer ourselves up by picking a couple of perks. We've earned them, so what are they going to be? Let's see. Well, Melee weapons might come in handy, I guess. Why not? And science upgrades definitely will, so there you go. Thanks to slow travel, on the way back to Sanctuary, we get waylaid by heaps of feral dogs and mole rats. And right now you're probably wondering, won't PETA reject our membership? But guess what? There's no PETA in the wasteland, so to quote the immortal words of J.R. Tolkien, meat's back on the menu, boys! And now a word from our sponsor, Moss and Mikey's Sandwich Shop.
I know what I'm talking about here.
Bullshit. You can't just put something between 2 pieces of bread and claim it's a sandwich. Does that mean a loaf of bread is technically a bread sandwich?
Technically, yes, but you wouldn't eat it all at once like that, so it doesn't matter. How you hold it matters.
Talk all you want. You put that piece of my alert meat between 2 pieces of bread, but it still ain't a sandwich.
Well, what the hell would you call it then?
Disgusting. That's what.
Thank you.
And if you're just joining us, word from Sanctuary's workshops is that, yes, that's right, we still can't afford to upgrade anything, but maybe we can upgrade our companion.
I'd be honored to accompany you throughout the Commonwealth. Just say the word.
The word. Yes, we need to do the Ten Pines Bluff thing, but you know how far away the Corvega assembly plant is? My thinking here is we should just crack some raider skulls closer to home.
Stranger. Those raiders that killed Mary, they took her locket too.
Oh, right, and help out settlers and stuff too. Now I want to take a moment to acknowledge that occasionally slow travel pays off. Like, did everybody else know that all these goodies were up by the Concord Water Tower? Oh, this is awkward. I died off camera, jumping over a car. Some kind of glitch just killed me. So we're picking a new mod, and we're going to go with the Global Stash Network. We're going to connect all our workbenches through a holotape in our Pip-Boy that lets us pull all the junk from all our owned workshops and put it into our local workshop. It's going to be a huge help. Props to the SKK mod for such an elegant solution. Our assault on Satellite Station Olivia is going pretty smoothly, if I do say so myself. We take out the attack dog, we're not even worried about the raiders, and then, well, you know how this goes, the mole rat strapped with landmines shows up like some kind of smart bomb and takes us out in one hit. Ouch. You know what that means. It's time to come on down to the mod is right. And the right mod is going to overhaul our perks. It's called the Less Junky Perks mod, and it makes things, well, hopefully better. We're going to check that out soon. This time we make the mole rats do the catwalk and we funnel them up to us. Down in the station, we're cutting through raiders like a hot knife through butter. 1, 2, 3. That is until ArcJet shows up with her minigun and gets us into some serious trouble. But we rebound decisively by taking simple crits outside of VATS, choosing the hacker perk, getting into the intel room a little bit early, and making the rest of this quest like a tiptoe through the tulips. Turns out my new sneaky powers would work a lot better if I didn't give myself away by firing a shot and missing. Codsworth is always cleaning up after me. It also turns out that my grenades would work a lot better if I weren't always throwing them at the railing. Then sitting there like a chump and... But that means it's time for a new mod, and after my death by Butterfingers, I think we can all agree that an Armorsmith mod would be a welcome addition, allowing me to layer more kinds of armor over the top of each other and put ballistic weave on more kinds of armor as well. We also get to pick a new perk. And do I have a treat for us? Remember that mod we downloaded called Less Junky Perks? Well, we're going to try this Curious Fool Apprentice. It's a rework of the Idiot Savant perk, and with more than 5 intelligence, it should be proccing all the time. Cool, but is that going to happen every time we get experience? Oh god, what have I done? This is my life now. But there's no use crying over spilt perks. I guess the solution is as easy as plugging our ears every time we get experience for the rest of the playthrough. Turns out we did get the better of ArcJet this time around, and we have avenged the Abernathys. You know, farming's hard work. But so is revenge. We grab their locket and we head back to the Abernathys to report our success.
I've got that locket back for you.
And with that, we are up to level 11, where we get to pick another perk, and this time around, I think we're going to go with Gun Nut 2. We're going to finally be able to start doing a few more upgrades. Assuming, of course, that our many hours of scavenging and looting have actually netted us enough components to do a few upgrades. Back in Sanctuary, we treat ourselves to a few well-earned weapon improvements, and we check out that new Armorsmith mod. It can actually change an armor's classification from light to heavy to medium, and it can make the armor look like whichever classification you want it to, even making it invisible, which is so helpful for getting your character to have the look you want them to have. And the good vibes just keep flowing as we upgrade our T45 power armor to the C classification so we can take it for a spin across the Commonwealth. The only thing that could make my mood any better is if I never had to hear that idiot Savant perk proc again.
He bought them fair and square, Rudy.
And suddenly I'm in no mood to resolve an armed standoff. This Drumlin Diner drama is just gonna piss me off.
Whoa, whoa, easy there, Miss Power Armor. This doesn't involve you.
You stop waving that gun in my face, or it's gonna involve me.
For once, I'm glad my speech check fails because I want to take these guys out and they go down laughably fast. The only person happier about it is Trudy.
Can't wait to see the crows feeding on that scumbag. Here, this is for you.
Damn, that Trudy's kind of dark, but maybe we should have seen that coming. Sure, she wipes the counter, but she never cleaned the skeletons out of her diner. As you know, the nearby Starlight Drive-In is an excellent settlement location, so we're going to go clear some mole rats out of it. Which is a task made almost too easy by just jumping up on top of the cars so that the mole rats can't get us. In fact, I'm feeling pretty smug about this, right up to the point where the car I'm standing on starts burning and explodes. But don't cry for me, Argentina, because I've got a new mod in mind that's going to be pretty fun. The Minutemen Supply Caches parks little Minutemen supply crates all over the Commonwealth. The first one here I can show you right away is in Starlight Drive-In. Take a look at what's inside. Nice building materials, some fusion cells. These things are all over the place. These are going to be real fun to just kind of discover as we go around the Commonwealth and find old Minutemen stashes. And now the Starlight Drive-In is ours. That's right, drink it in all its irradiated beauty. The one good thing about that noisy idiot Savant perk is that we have been leveling up pretty fast, and here we are at level 12, so it's time to pick a new perk. And after failing speech checks all over the Commonwealth, I think it's time that we buff Charisma and take it up to 5 stars. Heading south, we arrive at the Corvega assembly plant, seeking justice for the cynical settlers of Ten Pines Bluff. And it's no small task, as this place is crawling with raiders inside and out. First we make our way past the outer defenses, and the sharp-eyed among you will notice that I am still using the 10mm we picked up in Vault 111. Yes, that's not because I enjoy a challenge, it's because it is literally still the best weapon we have so far. I gotta tell you, scavenging your way through upgrades in vanilla mode is a trial of patience for even the most masochistic Fallout 4 fan. And I should know, because only a masochist would make themselves listen to this perk popping off over and over again all the way through their playthrough. But we have leveled up. We're at 14 now, as a matter of fact, and we're going to take the Nuclear Physicist perk to save ourselves a little bit of fusion core wear and tear. At first, clearing Corvega goes pretty smoothly. That is until I forget that I throw grenades with my left hand, and so it bounces off the wall right back at me and blows the legs off of my power armor. Will I ever learn? But all in all, I'm still feeling pretty confident, because how much of a threat can these raiders really pose to somebody in power armor anyway, right? But little do we know that the raiders have been baking up a batch of armor-piercing Molotov cocktails, and we take one right to the face. That's right, it's mod choosing time, and I'm hoping to avoid signing up for another sound effect. So we go immersive with the improved Brotherhood of Steel. That one just essentially makes some lore-friendly changes to the Brotherhood's leveled lists. And it's once more into the breach as we reach the final phase of this clear. Now, one of my favorite things to do is to set this Protectron loose using this terminal and let them just wreak chaos and distract all the raiders. One of my least favorite things to do is hack terminals. This could take a while, so let me just say that if you're enjoying the video, please take a moment to like and subscribe. At least you'll have something to do while we wait. Looks like fourth time's a charm as we unleash our little buddy on the unsuspecting raiders and let him stir the pot. This trick proves remarkably effective as the Protectron marches through a sea of flame toward the raiders. As a matter of fact, as the raiders engage with him, he manages to take enough of them out that the quest is fulfilled. But the chaos is just getting started as a car lights on fire and the Protectron targets us. That threat is short-lived, though, as a series of massive explosions on the factory floor start taking out everything, including the Protectron, leaving us with just a few shell-shocked raiders to mop up on our own. It's moments like this that keep me coming back to this game. God, I love the smell of fusion cores exploding in the morning. If we want all the loot this place has to offer, we've got to parkour our way up to this control center where all the raiders were holed up. It's here we'll find the remains of Jared, the raider boss at this location. He's got a painted face, he's kind of hard to miss, and if you read his terminal, there's kind of a tragic story about how he was so obsessed with Mama Murphy's ability to see the future with drugs that he got himself hooked on drugs as well. But we're not here for drugs. We're here for this Grognak comic. Our raid on Corvega has leveled us to 15, and we take the much-needed and very useful Science number 2. Then we return to Ten Pines Bluff to restore their faith in humanity.
I took care of him. No kidding. That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time.
And then, desperate for a compliment from Preston, we shamelessly chase him up the street.
Take care of your gun. It'll take care of you.
That's all you're going to say to us after we slaved all day to get this settlement for you?
They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news.
Don't sound so impressed.
And I think you've got it in you to be that leader.
Mr. Garvey is quite right, Mum. If anyone can unite the people, it's you.
And with Codsworth's inexplicable vote of confidence and another idiot savant proc, we level up to 16 and take over the reins of the Minutemen.
Good. Good. Welcome aboard.
Finally, somebody's happy. And to keep the rest of our people happy, we build them a nice little place to lay their heads in sanctuary before we pick our next perk. We've ignored the medic perk for too long, so we grab that before we head on out to Abernathy Farm and see if we can't scare up another one of those Minuteman stashes full of goodies that's supposed to be up on the roof of the barn here. But alas, even as leader of the Minutemen, we're still expected to unlock the supply cache, and we can't. Since the Minuteman sitting nearby doesn't seem to want to help us with this problem, we just steal his hat and move on south, where we encounter another Minuteman supply cache, this one easier to open up.
I think I can pick this.
Man, that's getting old. The Minuteman supply caches are great and all, but what I'm starting to think is that the wasteland really needs dog catchers. I mean, these things just murdered everyone in this house. Not cool, man. People died here. But just when you think the Commonwealth is all vicious dog attacks, you come across something surprising and humane. Like a raider mourning his lost loved one, and you think to yourself, you know what, it's tough all over. We're all just people. We're all just doing our best to get by. We all get broken hearts. And in the spirit of respect for this moment, I decide to leave without causing a fuss. And then Codsworth, who I thought was all about manners, just napalms this guy at his lover's funeral. Oh my god, he's still going at it. He's so cold. Other things you might see in a stroll through the end times? How about a bunch of psychotic cultists murdered by disgusting mole rats in an old radioactive junkyard? This is why I prefer fast travel. It's always the joggers that find the dead bodies. At Grey Garden, the robots brag about how advanced they are to us, and then we pick their moot fruit and sell it back to their dumbasses.
Take those caps now.
Jolly good. Here you are.
Let me bring you up to speed. We're heading south towards Diamond City by way of Cambridge, but of course we can't fast travel, so we are grabbing up all the little side quests we can on the way, and right now we are talking to Oberland Station about clearing out Sunshine Tidings Co-op. That's a pretty easy mission, and we're all caught up and we're all caffeinated, so we very cleverly leave our power armor behind to save on Fusion Core, and then promptly die from an off-camera bloodbug attack. This time the mod choice is a 3-fer, since I wanted the Institute Technology Overhaul mod that greatly diversifies both Institute and Railroad weapons, and it also required the other 2 mods. We return to the bloodbugs wearing power armor this time to get our revenge, and we do it with a grenade, which we all know is the best way to take revenge. Discovering Sunshine Tidings pushes us up over level 18, so we're going to pick another perk. We really need to keep working on our special stats, so we pick Strength this time around to help us carry a little bit more. Thanks, man, it is far out, and don't mind us, we're just here to do some pest extermination and massacre all your ghoulified hippie friends. Hey look, a legendary radroach actually dropped something usable. Rise and shine, commune campers, it's time to wake and bake, by which of course I mean burn one down, by which of course I mean kill a ghoul with a flamethrower. What did you think I meant? Then again, maybe I was impaired because I just left Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor laying there on the ground. I didn't even pick it up. I didn't even see it. So, as an attempt at redemption, let's tour the Sunshine Co-op. I planted some food, made some windmills, a little beacon, right? Got them some water going, made some beds. We did some good there. And now we return to Oberland Station to report our success. I know Selfless Hero is kind of the route we've chosen here, but it'd be nice to hear a little bit of gratitude for all this hard work, wouldn't it?
We've decided to support the Minutemen. We've got to help each other out if we want things to get better.
Damn, lady, that's all you had to say. And like a genie in a bottle, you rubbed me the right way, so you get it all. Plants, electricity, beacons, beds, defenses. You're welcome. And then we head off into the sunset like some kind of Wild West gunslinger with a heart of gold on our way to the next rescue, which just so happens to be our favorite damsel in distress. Fighting off some ghouls in front of the police station, we pitch in inexpertly and rather clumsily. In fact, it's Codsworth doing all the work, but you know we're going to get the credit. He is my butler, after all, and that, in a nutshell, is why the British aristocracy always kept their butlers around, am I right? Uh-oh, we've been kind of coasting in this fight. Looks like we got to finish these two off ourselves. But at least doing a little bit of our own dirty work pays off and we level up. You know, I called myself a survival noob for these videos, but based on my fighting here, I probably should have just said noob and left it at that. And they just keep coming. Does this ever end? Dang, I think Codsworth is the reason that car blew up. Okay, gang, I think we got him on the ropes here. All right, Codsworth, don't make this all about you.
We could use an extra gun on our side.
That all depends. How much are you paying?
I have no inclination to pay for your services.
Oh, Danse, that's the real pain train, bringing some rejection. Ouch.
No time to waste. Let's get moving.
Outstanding.
Inside the police station, we can find evidence of that Institute Technology overhaul mod we downloaded when we find the Institute Weapons Encryption breakdown manual. You see, with this mod, dropped Institute weapons will often have some kind of a bio lock on them where they won't work for anyone but the original user, and you'll need to be able to hack them at a whole different kind of workstation. I can explain more later. For now, let's just do some chores to appease the tedious survival gods and then head out with Danse.
You better get a move on.
Excuse
me,
a good
Paladin
idea to keep
Danse.
Paladin Danse
Ready to
waiting.
move out? Follow me, and try not to lag behind.
But we immediately do lag behind because this is survival, and we have to go take a nap in order to save our game progress. Why do people play this game mode again? This and other rhetorical questions brought to you by our sponsor today, Nuka-Cola. When sleeping is so annoying you'd rather drink radioactive caffeine. Nuka-Cola. And so we're off to be heroes and save the future of humanity, the Brotherhood of Steel way.
Hold up. I think we're being stalked.
He thinks we're being stalked by those people in the middle of the road, oblivious to our presence, and so he immediately goes there and kills all of them, and when we search the bodies, we find amongst them dead merchants. I guess this is the Brotherhood of Steel way to be a hero. Okay, wait. Stop me if you've heard this one. A super mutant, Paladin Danse, Codsworth, and a bunch of feral dogs walk into a bar. And the punchline is that the dogs and the super mutant finished each other off.
Paladin.
Listen up. We do this clean and quiet. No heroics and by the book. Understood?
That is some big Danse energy.
Yes.
And I am pretty sure our character Athena here is feeling it. Then he has to go and say something deep and really drop some panties.
They exploited technology for their own gains, pocketing the cash and ignoring the damage they've done.
No time for that though, because fighting synths is going to be punching a little bit above our weight. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so my favorite part of this next bit is when we unlock the door and the synths behind it are just being all nonchalant, like, just tying my shoe, hum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Oh, what? And there's hardly any time to be surprised that I took him down before 3 more of his buddies come through the door, and yet somehow we drop them all. I mean, we're still using the Vault 111 10mm, folks. And this next room, it had me bracing myself for the worst. This is a pretty heavy firefight, and yet somehow my newfound confidence was not entirely misplaced as synth after synth goes down. Oh, sorry, I misspoke there. Did I say synth after synth? I meant synth after synth after synth after synth, because they just seem to keep coming. And we can't stop winning. All with 10mm. Who knew? As the dust settles on this fight and the last one drops, I am feeling optimistic. We scavenge the battlefield as one does, finding terrible Institute weapons, and then, surprise, surprise, the best thing to drop is this glow-sighted hardened combat shotgun, which came out of a toolbox, but we only have like 11 shotgun rounds, so it's not much use to us. On our way through ArcJet, we pick up this useful Tesla magazine, adding a little bit of crit damage, and the ArcJet engine testing core in this building is undeniably one of the coolest interiors in the game.
Scout the maintenance area off of the main chamber. I'll remain here to watch our backs.
What'd you say about baby backs, Danse? I guess you must think this looks like a good place for a barbecue. Well, you know what? Yeah, you stay out there, keep our guests entertained. I'll come back here and find the lighter fluid, get things heating up for us. So we hack into this terminal here, get the auxiliary power turned on to the engines, right? And then Danse will just keep our guests busy with a game of laser tag while we get things heating up here. Safety first. I think I found the igniter button. Yo, Danse, I don't think this is how laser tag gets played. I mean, there's supposed to be some people on your team, you know? That's why you're getting reamed out there. Super uneven. Why didn't you bring any backup, Danse? Oh. Right. You know, he probably thought we were going to be out there. Our bad. Well, don't worry. We're here for moral support. You're looking great out there, Danse. You got this. You got this, buddy. Looking good. And you only need another sec before the cavalry arrives. Oh, that's always so fun to watch. I mean, just so gratifying. Am I right? Charbroiled synth steak? Anybody? Okay, so I know that looked bad.
Oh my god! Are you alright?
Get ready to witness the most epic recovery in Fallout 4 history.
The important thing is that we're still alive. We have a way to get to the transmitter. Let's go.
That is some John McClane stuff right there. And so we follow Mr. Invincible to the final room. At first things are going pretty smooth, and we had an opportunity to let Danse handle this all for us, but instead I decide to step in there and speed things up. As my health meter drops, and I have no cover, the inevitable happens. Our next mod choice has been a long time coming. Sunday Morning Mini Games is a quick hack and pick mod that means you won't have to watch me try to hack any more computer terminals for the rest of this playthrough. Now taking our second run at the final phase of ArcJet systems, we play it a little more cautiously. We hang back into this hallway and let the synths get funneled into mostly Danse. We creep out a little bit to help him out and speed things along, but we're not taking any chances this time. Finishing off the final enemy with a well-placed headshot, we do a bit of digging and we find the deep-range transmitter and a decent laser pistol drop. What should we do now, Danse?
Let's get at it. We'll take the service elevator to the surface.
Aye, aye, Captain. And I'd say, all in all, this ArcJet run went pretty smooth, wouldn't you?
Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
Jeez, Danse is kind of a hard guy to impress.
Smoother? I thought we did fine.
We're both alive in the transmitters.
Why can't we ever pass a charisma check with him? But charisma or not, finishing ArcJet does net us a decent, unique laser rifle, the Righteous Authority, that adds some extra crit damage and faster crit refill. We also receive an invitation to join the Brotherhood of Steel, and since I intend this to be a Brotherhood of Steel playthrough, my first, we accept.
I'd be honored to join.
Surely with their resources, we'll be able to find young Sean.
Oh right, this is supposed to be about Sean. Thanks for the reminder, Codsworth. It's perk time again, and we choose Intelligence to keep those levels coming. Then we bow to the tedious reality that is survival mode and move some weight around. Fortunately, Codsworth is a beast for pack weight, and we get all our stuff back to the police station. And as we enter, we overhear the cool kids gossiping about us.
Nice work, sir. I didn't do it alone. Aylin, Reese,
It's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon
Well, we've
team.
done it. We're in with the Brotherhood of Steel, and Reese continues to be the official spokesperson for toxic masculinity.
That's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood.
Actually, Paladin Dad has a pretty good point. If we're going to do this Brotherhood of Steel run, we're going to have to start drinking the Kool-Aid.
Because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that.
Yes, sir! Ad Victorum, sir! Permission to deny the humanity of our enemies, sir! Ugh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm giving it my best shot, but this is hard already. No wonder I haven't gone with the Brotherhood of Steel ending before. I just have to click my heels together 3 times and remind myself, there's no end like Prime. There's no end like Prime. There's no end like Prime. And that concludes part 2 of our Survival Noob series. If you've been enjoying this content, please subscribe and leave me a comment about things I can do for you in the future, and I will try to respond. I hope you all are having an awesome day. Lots of love to everybody, and I will see you in the next one.